everyone, welcome to my nookery. In today's video I'm going to talk to you about hashtag Yarny Fibre Sisters Scrap Blanket 2023. Jeannie V and myself, we've all done a tutorial to give you ideas on using your scrap yarn that you from when you did the calendar cal for 2022. Now, after I've done with the talking, before I go on to the tutorial, I have actually done a little video showing you all the hats that I made, because I made hats. I didn't do the mosaic blanket, I made hats. So all the yarn that was left over from the hats that I did using the calendar from last year, I have done the half double crochet chevron blanket. And there'll be a tutorial after the video showing you all the hats, and my little pussycat Fluffy makes a little appearance as well. So this is the blanket, guys, and at the end of the video, after the tutorial's finished, I've done a little video where I've opened the blanket out, and I show you how to do the stitch. So this is the blanket. So let me see which way we're going. Right, okay, so we've got January and February, then March and April, then May and June, July and August, then we've got September and October, and then we've got November and December. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy this tutorial. If you do make a scrap blanket, and let me just say, guys, you don't have to use scraps from the calendar. Any scrap yarn that you've got, you can use. This is made with 4-weight yarn, guys. This is all 4-weight yarn. Some is from the UK. I've used some yarn from the US. And so this is US yarn. This is the Karen Simply Soft. So's the pink, so's the yellow, so is this, and then all this then is there's a mixture of Stylecraft, of oh, I can't remember the other ones now, Deramores. So I've used all different makes of yarn, so but they're all 4 weights. So without further ado, I am going to show you the little video of all the hats and all the scrap yarn that I'm going to use for this blanket. Then we'll go straight on to the tutorial. I show you how to do the pattern, and then we'll go on to doing the edging, and then a little video at the end to show you the blanket in all its glory. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. If you do take part, don't forget to use the hashtag YFS for Yarny Fibre Sisters Scrap Blanket 2023. Enjoy, guys, and thank you so much for being here. I'll see you. Enjoy the video. Bye for now. Hi everyone, it's Linda from the Yarny Fibre Sisters, and I have completed my hats for the calendar cal for 2022, and we asked that you all kept your scrap yarn, and the reason for that is that each of us are going to design a blanket using the scraps. So I just wanted to run through. So I didn't have any more of this pale blue, so I've changed it out for this blue. So I've got 2 colours for each month. So that's January, that's February, that's March, and then we've got April, then we've got May, we've got June, and I can incorporate, I've got that colour for May, so that'll tie in nicely with that. There's the scraps for July and August, and then we've got September, October, November and December. So I am going to be showing you how to make a half double crochet ridged chevron blanket using the stripes. And what I plan to do is so I'm going to start with the grey and do 5 rows of each colour, which will give me a total of so I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. I've got 23 skeins of yarn, and that will give it, so it's going to be about 100 and near enough 120 rows, and we're going to be chaining a total of 160 plus 2 because the pattern is multiples of 16 plus 2. So I am going to turn you to overhead, guys, and we'll make a start. Okay, so as I've said, we're going to do the half double crochet ribbed chevron pattern using the scraps from the calendar cal, Yarny Fibre Sisters calendar cal for 2022, and I'm using the colours because that year 2022 was a really good year for me, and this is just going to be like a memory blanket for me. So I'm using I had to introduce this yarn because the yarn that I used for my January hat I don't have any more of, and this is Elements Tweed Aran, and it's the turquoise, and so I just thought I'll use this. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a J-hook crochet 6mm, some stitch markers, a pair of scissors, and of course a tapestry needle. And what I'm going to try and do now is find the end. There it is, there it is, there it is. Let's just get it out. Yeah, so this is all of us, V, Jeannie and myself, were all designing a blanket or something anyway to use with your scrap yarn, which we asked you all to keep. And why have I got, oh no, that's not two ends. I've just got it all tangled up. There we go. I found it, found the end, guys. Okay, it's always nice too. So I'm going to make a slip knot. I like to leave a good sized tail. So usually what I do is I usually, it's for a rule of thumb for me is the width of my hand, the length of my hand, and then I just cross my yarn over, bring it up, put my hook through the loop that I've created, pick up, and there we have the slip stitch. And I need to, this pattern is multiples of 16 plus 2 stitches. So I'm going to do a chain of 162. So I'm sure you all know how to do a chain. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I've done the chain of 10 so far. I'm just going to bring you down just a tad. There we go. So I've done a chain of 10. I'm going to go away and do the chain, make a chain of 162, and I'll meet you right back here when I'm done. Okay guys, I've got a chain of 62. Now we need to do row 1, and this is just a 1 row pattern repeat after you've done the first row. So I like to turn my chain over, and I'm hoping you can see here you have the little nubs on the back. So on the front you have the V's. I like to work on the back of the stitch for the foundation row, and I need to do a half double crochet into the second chain from hook. So that's the first one, that's the second, and I'm going to do a half double crochet into there, and I need to do 2 half double crochets into the second chain from the hook. And this is all US terminology, guys, so there we go. So into the second chain from the hook, you do 2 half double crochets, and then you do 1 half double crochet into the next 7 stitches. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7. So there we go, we've done the first 7. So I should have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 2 half double crochets into your first, the second chain from the hook, and then 7 half double crochets, and then you skip the next chain. So I'm going to skip that knob. Let me just move this down a bit. There we go. So I'm going to skip the next knob, and I'm going to do 7. I'm going to continue doing 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Half double crochet is my favorite, so we've done 7. And now into the next chain we're going to do 3 half double crochets into the next stage. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating hills and valleys. So this is going to be a valley, and this is going to be a hill. So what I like to do is pop a stitch marker into the valleys, and then I don't go wrong. So as you can see, it goes like that. So we've done that, and then we're going to continue now doing 7 half double crochets into the next 7 chain spaces. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I'm going to skip a chain, and then we're going to do another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we've done a valley, So I've done a valley. The first row, guys, is fiddly. We all know that on any pattern, don't we? So this is another valley, so I'm going to put another stitch marker there. And it'll all become clear. I just really like this half double crochet. But it's only a 1 row pattern repeat once you've done the done this, and I'm going to go through the whole row with you guys. So I've just done the 7, so that's 2, 4, 6, 7. So now I'm at a hill, which is 3 half double crochets into this next stitch. And that's how I think of them, hills and valleys. And then I've got to do 7 half double crochets into the next 7 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It is a bit fiddly doing the back into the back nub of the chain, but the reason I do it is because it gives a nice, really nice, neat edge to my blanket. Can you see? So it replicates when you finish your blanket, you'll end up with the same V's as you do, and that's the only reason why I really like going into the back of the chain stitches. Instead of going through the V's, I like to twist and go through the nubs. So we did 3 there, so I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you know, if it's going to be something that you're going to treasure, it's just worth taking that time. So I'm going to skip the next nub because I'm on to the valley now. Skip 1 chain, and I'm going to go into the next chain. So I've created another valley, she says. Come on, Linda. There we go. So created another valley. So I want to do 7 half double crochets, and then I'll do a hill. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I'm going to be creating a hill because I've just done a valley. So I've got to half double crochet into the next stitch 3 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then we do 7 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now I'm at a valley, so I need to skip 1 and go into the next stitch and do 7. Just need to get some yarn out of the centre of my yarn. There we go. It's worth taking your time, isn't it, guys? I mean, we all know that. If you rush something, it doesn't work out so good. And I hope that, I just feel it. We've not got much to do now on the 1st. So I need to find my other valley. So there's my other valley. So I need to put a stitch marker in there. And I find this helps, and there's my valley. And so I've done 2, 4, 6, 7. I skipped one. Yep, I skipped one, so I've got to do another 7. Let me just double check. Yes, I have. So we've done, the hill is chain 3 into one chain, and then you chain 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. You skip a chain, and then you chain half double crochet into the next 7 chains. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm at a hill now, so I need to 3 half double crochets into the next chain. 1, 2 and 3. There we go, and that's another valley. So I know that that's my valley. I'll put it, and I find these really help when when you come to design, when you come to, and then you can keep an eye on so you don't go wrong. I was going to say something. I mean, if you don't like the half double crochet, guys, you can do a single crochet, you can do double crochet, you could do treble crochet, but for this I really like the half double crochet. It's one of my favorite stitches. So we've just done a hill, which is 3 half double crochets, so I need to chain 7 to get to my next valley. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So I need to skip one, chain into the next 1, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now I've done my valley, so I'm on to my hill, which is going to be 3 half double crochets into the same stitch, 2 and 3, and then we're going to do 7 again, and we're going on to our valley next. So I need to do 7, 1, come on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we've just done a hill, now we're on a valley, so I skip one chain into the next chain, continue doing 7 half double crochets into the next 7 stitches until we get to the hill or mountain. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, So we're on a hill, so I do 3 half double crochets into the next chain, 1, whoops, 2 and 3. Then we'll go, not got much to do now guys, should get it done. So 3, so I need to do 7 up to my valley, so do another 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so skip one chain and then continue on doing another 7 half double crochets until we get to the mountain or hill. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and now we're on the hill, so I do 3 half double crochets into this stitch, 1, 2, 3, 7 half double crochets into the next 7 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we're on a valley now, so as you can see, so I need to go back now and find my valleys and put my stitch markers in. So there's one there, there's one there, there's another one, so that's my mountain, hills and valleys, mountains, whatever. Whoops, there's my another. So now I'm on a valley, so we're on the home stretch guys, we're on the home stretch, and the reason I'm doing this, taking you across this row with me, is because there are a lot of beginners out there as well who've never tried the chevron, and I just think it's easier to for them to crochet along with me. Experienced crocheters, you know, kind of, you can just fast forward to the next row, but I will leave the written, it's only two rows to this pattern, and it's only a 1 row pattern repeat. This is kind of the foundation row that sets you up for the next, and it's only a 1 row pattern repeat. So so we've done the 7, so I'm on a valley, so I skip 1 and then I half double crochet into the next 7 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've just done a valley So I'm on a mountain, so I need to do 3 half double crochets into the one chain. 1, 2 and 3. And now we're on the home stretch, guys. Now we've got to do 7 half double crochets into the next 7 chains. It takes it's a bit fiddly to do it into the back loop of the chain, the back nubbin, but the effect is so well worth it. It gives it a more professional finish, I think, guys. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and we're on a valley, so we've got to skip the next stitch. So we've got to skip the next chain and do 7 half double crochets into the next 7 chain stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So now I'm on a valley, I'm on a mountain, so I need to do 3 half double crochets into the next chain stitch. So that's 1, 2 and 3 and 7 into the next 7 half double crochets into the next 7 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And we're at a valley, so I skip one and I chain half double crochet into the next 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and you should have 1 chain left, and into the last chain you do 2 half double crochets, chain 1 and turn. So 2 into the last chain, you do 2 half double crochets into that stitch. So that's 1, 2, chain 1 and turn, and you're going. Now this next row, guys, is going to be your the row that you do throughout the entire blanket. So I'm just putting my stitch markers in all my valleys. It just helps, and if you want to do that, then you're more than welcome to give it a go. There we go. I've got 3 left over. So there we go. Let me just move that out. So there we go. As you can see, you've got your peaks and your trough. So you've got valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, and that's what I'll refer them to. So this is going to be your mountain and this is your valley. And I always, when I do the chevron, I always like to, in the mountains, in the valleys I should say, put these little stitch markers. It just helps keep me on track. So Right, so we've did I chain one here? Yes, I did chain one, and I've turned. So this is the row. I will write the rows and put them in the description box below if it's easier for you to follow that way. As I say, my tutorials are always aimed at the, you know, the beginners. But sometimes we just need a little refresher, don't we, guys? So we've chained one, we've chained one, turned. So now we're going to be going into the back loop. So if you let me just show you. So you're going to be working in the back loop, which will then create a ridge on each side, and I'm going to do 5 rows of each colour because this is my scrap blanket design from all the scrap yarn that was left over from the Yarny Fibre Sisters calendar cal. And I've got, oops, I've just undone my chain one. So yeah, so this is gonna be my 2022 memory scrap blanket for so okay, so I've chained one, and into the first stitch here you're going to do 2 half double crochets into the back of the loop. So if I bring it down just a touch, so if I just show you, so we've chained one, and into this stitch here, the back of the loop, you do 2 half double crochets. And a half double crochet, which I should have mentioned before, is yarn round needle, pull through a loop, and then yarn round needle, hook, and take it off. So on each row you always start with you start and end each row with 2 half double crochets into your first stitch. So we've done that. So we're going to do half double crochet into the next 7 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, so we're at a valley. So you're going to skip 2 stitches, and you're going to put 7 half double crochets, half double crochet 7 times into the next 7 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And now we're at the mountain. So into this one you're going to put 3 half double crochets into the back of the loop. Always remember, guys, into the back of the loop. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to do 7 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we're at a valley. So you're going to skip 2, and into the 3rd stitch from your last half double crochet you're going to continue doing 7 half double crochets, 6 and 7. So now we're at the mountain, and into the back of the top of the mountain you're going to put 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go down into the valley. So we're going to do 7 half double crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And remember, you skip 2 because you're jumping over the valley. You're skipping 2 and you're jumping onto the 3rd stitch, the 3rd chain, and you're doing another 7 half double crochets. So if you just remember, it's 7 half double crochets, jump 2, 7 half double crochets. We're at the top of the mountain, so we need to do 3 half double crochets. Then we're coming down to the valley where we're going to do 7 half double crochets. We're going to jump across 2 of the stitches, and we're going to go up to the mountain with 7 half double crochets. At the top of the mountain we're going to do 3 half double crochets. We're going down the mountain to the valley, we're skipping over 2 stitches, so we're going up to the mountain next, so we're going to do 7 half double crochets. At the top of the mountain we're going to do 3. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7. So at the top of the mountain we're going to do 3 half double crochets. So if you just remember, at the top of the mountain we do 3 half double crochets, then we do 7 half double crochets down to the valley, we skip 2, then we're going up 7 half double crochets to the top of the mountain where we do 3. And if you just remember that, down, skip 2, up to the top of the mountain, do 3, and then down, up. So it's just a case of you're going down into the valley, up into the mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain. And as you can see the ridge. Can you see the ridge? And that it'll happen on both sides, which will be lovely, and I think that looking quite nice, don't you think, guys? So I'm going to leave you to finish to the end of the row, and then I'll show you the beginning of the next row, and then I will go away and I will complete my five rows, and then I'll show you how to introduce the second colour of your scraps. And guys, you don't necessarily have to use the yarn from that, your scrap yarn from the Yarny Fibre Sisters calendar cal. You can use any scraps that we've got in our stash, as long as it's the same weight, obviously. I mean, this is a 4 weight, so it's going to be a nice warm blanket. Not decided. I'm just going to leave the blanket like that. I think it looks really nice, and I'm hoping to get a blanket ladder, and I think it'll look really nice on there, but it'd be nice to wrap around in the winter months as well. So I'll see you at the other end, and then I'll show you how to start the next row, and I'll see you at the other end, guys. Okay, so I've come to the end of the row, as you can see, and I've got 1 stitch left. So I need to do 2 half double crochets into the last stitch, 1, 2, chain 1, turn, and then into the very first stitch I need to do 2 half double crochets as before, 1, 2, and then just continue working into the back of this, of the loop of the row of the stitch below, and continuing on doing your valleys and mountains, guys, and that's all it is. So on the beginning of every row you do on the beginning of every row you do chain 1, 2 half double crochets into the very first stitch, and at the end of every row you do 2 half double crochets in the last stitch on every row. So I've done the 2, 4, 6, 7, and I'm up to a mountain at the valley, so I've got to skip 2 and do 7 up to the mountain, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then at the top of the mountain I need to do 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 7 half double crochets down to the valley, 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to skip 2 and then do 7 up to the mountain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and again at the top of the mountain you do 3 half double crochets into the mountain. And that's it, guys. So I'm going to finish this row and I'm going to make do another 2 rows, so I've got 5 rows of the same yarn, and then I'll come back when I'm going to change my yarn, show you what I do when I change yarn, and then that's it, guys. You just continue creating. As I said, you can use a single crochet for this pattern, you can use a double crochet, you can use a half double treble if you wish, but half double crochet is my favorite stitch, so I thought I would do that. So I hope you can see the ridge. Can you see the ridging? And if I turn it over you can see the ridge on the other side, and I think it's just nice. It gives a nice texture to it with being soft at the same time. So I will see you back here once I've done my 5 rows, and I'll show you how I change my yarn. And guys, except for the end here, as I go I weave my ends in as I go, so it's entirely up to you whether you want to leave all your ends till the end. Me personally, I don't, but it's the way I work. So I will see you when I've done my 5 rows, guys. Okay, I have come to the end of my 5th row and into the last stitch from the previous round. I've done 1 half double crochet, and I'm going to do the 2nd half double crochet, but I'm not going to pull this yarn through. What I'm going to do is going to cut it, and then I'm going to introduce my next colour. And what I like to do, again, I like to have a palm's length, and I like to do a slip knot, and then what I need to do then is then grabbing hold of this yarn that I've just pulled that grey through, and then chain 1, and just for the time being until I have done this row, I just like to tie a little knot. So I've chained 1, turned my yarn, turned my work, and now I just continue on with the pattern as before. So I've chained one, and I've got to do 2 half double crochets into the first stitch as we always do, and then just continue working on doing 7 half double crochets. Just bring it down a bit. So doing 7 half double crochets. So I've done the 2, I've done 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then because I'm in a valley I need to skip 2 of the stitches and work up to the mountain with 7 half double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and now I'm at the top of the mountain, so I need to do 3 half double crochets into that top stitch. And then that's it, guys. You just continue on doing 5. Well, I will be continuing. You do whatever pattern you could change every row. I'm going to be changing every 5 rows, so that'll give me a nice length blanket. And the measurement of the blanket, let's see, the width, let's see if I can tell you what the width of the blanket is. Let me just get a tape measure. I've got my trusty little pussycat. So this is just an estimate, guys. So that is up to this mountain 20 inches. So it's about 41 inches wide, and each 5 row for me represents 2.5 inches. So I've got 23 colours. So we've got, let me see, let me get a piece of paper. There we go. And a pen. So we've got 2.5 inches is one colour, and I'm doing 23 colours, so that is going to be that's going to be 46 inches, and then I need to add 22 halves is 11.5, so it's going to be about 57.5 inches long. So it's going to be a nice, it's going to be a nice length. Yeah, it's going to be roughly my wingspan. So that's a good roughly. Maths is never my best subject, guys, so apologise if it's wrong, but yeah, so it's like 41 inches wide, which is a nice length for a blanket, I think. And so that is the Yarny Fibre Sisters Linda's doing a Linda. So it's hashtag Yarny Fibre Sisters Calendar Cal Scrap Blanket for 2023, using your scrap from the calendar of 2022. And this is my design, and at the end of the video I will show a few photographs of the blanket all nicely finished off. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. If you have any questions, just leave them in the description, but in the comments box below, and I will get back to you. And take care, everybody. Stay safe, but more importantly, as I always say, be kind to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now. Hi everyone, so all the blanket is crocheted. I've used all of the months, so we've started here. So this is January, then we go on to February, then we go on to March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and lastly December. So they're all the colours that we've done. I've folded it in half. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to use Yarn Bee Dazzling, and this is Morning Haze, and we're going to use this to just neaten up the borders all the way around, just to give it a nice finish off, guys. So let me see if I can find the centre. There we go. And I've got a J hook, 6mm, and what we're going to do is I always like to take from the centre. So what I like to do is I always like to do a slip knot, leaving plenty to weave in. I like to do a slip knot, and then I just start anywhere, and we'll start, I think we'll start here on the black. I'm going to put my hook through some stitches here, put this on, hold that, bring it through and chain one. There we go. And then find the next stitch and just do a nice single crochet all the way round, just to neaten the edge of your blanket off nicely. Can you see? So just go through. There's no fast and hard rule. Obviously you don't want to do it too tight that it pulls the edge of your blanket, but just so it finishes off nicely. I'm just going to go through the black first, and then I can show you better with the orange, which is, well, it's pumpkin I think, or spice, one of the colours. And remember, these are all the scrap yarns left over from when I did my hats for the Yarny Fibre Sisters calendar scenic calendar, and I did all those hats. Whoops. Right, okay, so now we're on the orange. Okay, so because there's a hole there, as you can see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up and put my, can you see what I've done? I'll move you down a bit. There we go. I hope it's not. So going through the next single crochet, and then go into the next single crochet, and then as there's a hole there, I'm going to go down to the next stitch and put my hook through one of the stitch, bring it through and go through. Let me just unravel this, and then again. But you need to remember, guys, to space your stitches out so it doesn't pull, doesn't pull your blanket and makes it buckle. So take your time and just go through, which is why I've used the 6mm hook, which is what I used on the blanket. So we've done the half double crochet in the back loop chevron. So, and that's all you need to do. So I'm going to continue down until I get to this, to the edge, and I want to show you what I'm doing here, what I do here. Okay guys, I'm still going to keep the chevron shape of the blanket, but I want to show you what I'm going to do. So continue, I'll continue and I'll meet you at the end here. Okay, so we've got to the corner, and into the corner stitch I've done 3 single crochets into that stitch, and then can you see the stitches, the V's? Just follow them all the way to the end. I'll just do so all you're doing is just single crochet all the way around, and it just kind of finishes the blanket off nicely. I mean, if you might not like it, but I kind of like to finish off my blankets. We're all different, guys. If you feel that your blanket doesn't need a border, then that is entirely your choice, guys. Okay, so let me I've done a valley, and as you can see, it just curves it off nicely. I've still got the valley, and then I'm just working my way around the hill, the top of the mountain. And let me just do a couple more stitches. I hope really that you've enjoyed this. I mean, I've enjoyed doing this, and as you at the beginning of this video where I show you all the hats that I made for the homeless using the calendar, the scenic calendar, and I just decided that, you know, to use all the scraps up and make another, you know, make a blanket. So let me just move this out the way so you can see here. Let me just move this. So as you can see, you've still got you've got a nice rounded corner here, and then it's just very gentle. It's not as prominent. Let me just get this out the way, and as you can see the difference. So it's entirely up to you guys whether you you think your blanket doesn't need a border. Myself, I did, and yeah, so that's it. Don't forget, at the corners, do 3 single crochets in all 4 corners, weave your ends in, and then at the end of this tutorial I will do a quick video. I'll take the blanket outside and do a quick video showing you the blanket complete, instead of, you know, kind of hidden under this camera, because obviously space is limited. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, stay safe, but more importantly, guys, be kind to you. Until the next video, bye. Hi guys, so as you can see, the blanket is all complete. As you can see, I've done the grey edging, and I think it just finishes it off nice, and it's kind of made the end of it really nice. So these are all the colour scrap yarns from the hats that I did for the Yarny Fibers Sisters Scenic Calendar Cow. So I'll go through the colours. So the first 2 January, then we've got February, then we've got March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November and December. So these are the more winter colours, and then we come into the autumn colours here, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm just going to move myself out. I've got it hung over the the fencing in the garden, and I am just so pleased with it. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. If you've got any questions, then please don't hesitate to ask me. And I'm going to slowly move back without killing myself, so you can get the full panoramic view. Sorry guys. So there we go. So that is my hashtag Sisters Scrappy blanket. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.